emotions of the last two playoff years, the Portland Winterhawks seasons have ended in heartache. Twice on the WHL's biggest stage, twice they've fallen short. But is the third time the charm for the three-time Western Conference champs? A familiar foe greets them in the championship series. For the Edmonton Oil Kings, they hope history repeats itself. Game 1 of the WHL Championship, next on Shaw.
Well, they tell us it's rare in early May for the weather to be beautiful, but we've been nothing but lucky the last couple of years. Picture perfect blue skies, mid-20s in Celsius here in Portland as we get set for the WHL finals to begin. There's Ty Ratty, who's had a tremendous postseason with 31 points to lead all playoff scorers and 2 goals shy of the career playoff goals record, now with 45. Seth Jones named the WHL's Rookie of the Year on Wednesday at the awards ceremony. He's got a 4-game point streak going into this evening, trying to add a WHL championship to his resume. Michael St. Croix, terrific third round against Calgary with 10 points in this series. 8 of those came in the last 4 games. And Laurent Brossoit, another big Game 7 effort from him. 5 shutouts now after his shutout on Tuesday over the Hitmen. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the WHL on Shaw and WHL Central, brought to you by Sierra Sil. I'm Andy Neal. This game is on in high definition on channel 303, and greetings to those of you watching south of the border on Comcast Sportsnet Northwest. Well, after a memorable 7-game series last year between the Edmonton Oil Kings and the Portland Winterhawks, it's a fresh slate, round 4 here for the Ed Chanel Cup in 2013. As you know, Edmonton had to go the distance in the third round to win the Husky Eastern Conference Championship over the Calgary Hitmen, playing on Tuesday night. Meanwhile, the Portland Winterhawks have had some time to rest. They knocked out Kamloops in the Cal Tire Western Conference Championship in 5. It's been a full week for Portland, getting set for Game 1 of the finals. A big buzz here at the Rose Garden, getting set for the series opener. And for their thoughts, let's go to Dan Russell and Bill Wilms, who have the call once again tonight. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Andy. Well, the defending champions, they're battered and bruised. They played a long 7-game series with the Calgary Hitmen. The Winterhawks are rested. They have revenge on their mind. How hard, Bill, will it be for the Edmonton Oil Kings to repeat?
Well, let me tell you, they're facing the #1 offense in the Western Hockey League, Dan, and they're doing it without Griffin Reinhardt, their star defenseman, who had the best plus-minus in last year's playoffs, and they're doing it without Trevor Cheek, one of their top snipers, and they're playing their first series in the last 7 on the road, but they won in this building last year in the playoffs. They won earlier this year next door at the Coliseum. They think they can get it done.
The Portland Winterhawks are an offensive juggernaut. There's just no other way to say it. They scored the most goals in the regular season. They piled up so many more here in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they talk about their big line, and it's a bit of an oxymoron because the line is 5'9", 6 feet. And Travis Green really double shifts these guys. But it's Nick Patan, it's Brendan Leipzig, it's Ty Ratty that have combined for 73 points in the playoffs. Why are they so effective? Well, they're great skaters, they have great puck sense, and they have terrific chemistry. Derek Laxdal says it's going to take a group of 5, not 3, 5 to stop them with a bunch of work ethic mixed in there. Everett couldn't do it, Spokane couldn't do it, and Kamloops couldn't do it. Now it's Edmonton's chance.
Not only that, the Portland Winterhawks in their own end set a franchise record, fewest goals allowed. Their defensive core is so solid, and they are led by the Rookie of the Year, Seth Jones.
Well, Rookie of the Year, folks, if you're tuning in tonight, the #1 draft eligible player in the world, on the planet, is #3, Seth Jones. And what he does so well is that he's tough to beat defensively, and he's so good offensively. When you watch this sequence where he picks off this pass, moves his feet, cuts into this area here, goes wide, throws a pass to the front of the net, it's just absolutely dynamic. He's a big guy that skates effortlessly, and he's just a guy that really is a treat to watch. And we're happy to see it tonight on Shaw.
Oh, are we ever. Now, if the Edmonton Oil Kings repeat, it may well be that there's a repeat of the MVP. I mean, Laurent Brossoit is going to have to be great. He's got 5 shutouts in these playoffs, including in Game 7 against the Hitmen.
Yeah, again, Laurent Brossoit is often the backbone of this hockey club. Take a listen to this, a 9.41 save percentage in the playoffs. That 2-0 game in Game 7 in Eastern Conference Final, he was great. I love his answer to stopping the line of Radi Patan in Leipzig. He says, I only watch the puck. He says, I never watch who's got it. That's going to stand him well because that's going to be a tough line to stop. And Laurent Brossoit might have to be the best Oil King on the ice tonight.
We know the Portland Winterhawks are so hungry. Their fans seem even hungrier, Andy, as we go back to you.
Well, for sure, the atmosphere is terrific here at the Rose Garden. Peter, both teams are excited to get this one underway.
Who isn't excited? If you don't have goosebumps right now, you shouldn't be in this arena. These two teams, truthfully, have been waiting for the prospect of this night all season long. We thought it was going to happen for the last 2 months. It has happened. And in an NBA arena, to quote Kevin Garnett, an NBA player, he said last night on there's the regular season, there's the playoffs, there's the championship series. I can't wait.
Home team has won each of the last 3 Game 1s in the WHL champion. Portland will try to make it 4 in a row. Edmonton and Portland, a rematch of the finals. Game 1 is next on the WHL on Shaw.
Thank you very much, Dan and Stefan. After last year's epic series between these two teams, everyone was looking forward to the rematch, including the Winterhawks, who said so publicly. Are you looking forward to seeing them as much as they claim they want to see you?
Definitely. I think it's fun when there's a rivalry like this, like we developed last year, and you know we're going to play hard against them, and we respect them, but at the same time we feel confident in our game.
You've had home ice advantage for 7 straight series, not used to starting on the road. Are you embracing the underdog role, or do you even feel like them?
Yeah, I like it. It's a little different. It's fun to play on the road here. Kind of not a lot of pressure. Just go out and play a road game and try to steal in here.
All right, thanks for this, Stefan.
Yeah, thanks.
Guys.
All right, you'll get used to these names if you're not already. Your starting goalies are for Jack Lynx. Feed your wild side. Laurent Brossoit has the 2nd most shutouts in 1 playoff year. Dustin Slade of Vancouver had 6 back in 2006. And what can you say about Matt Carruth? Can you believe he is starting his 70th career playoff game tonight? He's got 45 wins. That's the most in WHL history. Referees for tonight's game both answered to the name Brett. There's Mr. Iverson and Montesson working this game with the orange armband. You see the linesman there. And Bill, I don't know about you, but bring it on. I'm excited. You take 7 right now?
I'd take 7 in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Can't wait for this puck to drop right there.
All right, in one corner you've got the white team. They've been so hungry, the Portland Winterhawks. They've had sanctions. They've had disappointment, and you've got the defending champs who want to get back to the Memorial Cup where they did not have the greatest time last year. As the puck goes into the Edmonton zone, Oil Kings are bottled up a little bit as Musil is tied up there. The check by DeChamplain from behind the net. He tries to get it in front. DeChamplain wears number 11. Musil really in a battle with him. Lazar trying to come over on this near side. Musil will switch it to the far side, and Keegan Lowe collects the puck for Edmonton. Half-wall pass over to Samuelson, but he checked off the puck. He's back out to the blue line area. Here's a chance for Seth Jones, his first touch of the series, and it almost, the off-speed pitch, if you will, almost found a way behind Laurent Brossoit. Pressure already by Portland in the first minute. Edmonton unable to get out of their own zone. Musil looks tired out there as he gets to the puck, but he can only poke it out to Seth Jones. It gets behind the net. Gobbling it up there for Portland is Leipzig. Leipzig in a great comfort position behind that net. Leipzig holding, shooting, and it's Brossoit who makes the first save that he's had to make in this series. The first of many, we're sure. Seth Jones at the line. The shot goes wide of the net. Samuelson tries to poke it out. Finally, the Edmonton Oil Kings get it out to center, but not much further, as in transition, here comes Leipzig. Likes it with Patan. Patan shoots, and that goes off the target. Might have hit something on the way. Ratty picks up the loose puck. Ratty dumps it off. Pouliot now for Portland. His shot. A rebound in front is just fanned on. And again, the Oil Kings trying to get it out. Musil, who's been out there for the first 2 minutes nearly, finally gets, well, he doesn't even get to the red line. He won't be able to come off. That's icing.
Take a look at how these teams have done to this point in the playoffs, how they got here. Take a look at the records. Obviously, their power plays. You look at the road record. Everything looks pretty closer. But Dan, that is a typical Portland Winterhawks shift to start any game 1 in the playoffs. They want to use their speed. They want to get pucks in deep, and they dare you to not take a penalty on them by a hook or some kind of a lazy play. And again, I think Edmonton was prepared for this kind of start from the Winterhawks.
4 shots on goal already for Portland registered. Number 16 kicking at it is Joey Baker from back of the net on his backhand now. Baker is Rutkowski way out to the blue line. I mentioned Caruth's number. Rutkowski's playing in his 72nd career playoff. That's a whole season of playoff, regular season equivalent. There's a chance and a goal! Dylan Ruck scores on the first, not just opportunity for Edmonton, the first time they are in the Portland zone. Dylan Ruck scores, and the Oil Kings lead 1-0.
Yeah, Dylan Ruck, not the biggest guy. We often talk about this, but you know, when they get that puck in deep, sometimes you need pucks to bounce off the skate. This is a Wannick. He's going to take it in. Now, you're right. First shift in there, and look at the puck just bounce off the skate in front of the net. And Dylan Ruck, you kind of lose track of him just a little bit. And boy, he's right there to answer the bell for him. What a nice job to get back at this point.
And what were you saying to us this afternoon? There's a guy who has more goals in him. He's a pass guy, but he has more goals in him, and he just showed it right there. Dylan Ruck, we'll pick up the announcement here. Good luck picking up the announcement. Pretty noisy there, but we know Wannick got the first assist. We have a penalty as the stick was slashed out of one of the Portland players' hands, so it looks like Portland will get the first power play of the championship series. Sontner comes over to the box.
Again, you know, not surprised. Talked about this last time. You know, when we had that earlier break, I thought that this Portland team was going to try to draw that first penalty. This is a discipline you're talking about. Sontner has to know that he can't do that. You just can't put the stick on the player that way.
Portland's power play 23 for 80 in these playoffs. It's been an amazing run for the Winterhawks. And we should mention to you that, we'll get to that in just a second, as the puck goes down into Rutkowski. Rutkowski gets it out to Patan. Out it goes to Pouliot. Pouliot over to Ratty. Ratty back for Pouliot. Pouliot holding the puck. Here's Patan with it now. Pouliot winds up, takes a shot. That was directed on the way. 23 for 80, Portland in the power play percentage. That's 28.8% in the playoffs.
Dan, watch Portland put number 2, Troy Rutkowski, a defenseman, right in front of the net. He's a 20-goal scorer on the season.
As Corbett tried to clear it, it comes back out here to Pouliot, moving in, a pass off, and a shot just misses the far corner. Pouliot has to hustle, but he can't quite get out there. This power play presented by Papa John's. Go online to papajohns.com tomorrow and enter promo code WHL50 to power save on your next order. There's Pouliot, now to Patan. Patan trying to get it out to Pouliot. Pouliot winding up, doesn't take the shot. Pouliot gets it back now for Patan. Fans on his first one, and it goes over there to Ty Ratty. What's he going to do? Pouliot, one-timer, and there's Brossois with the save, and Edmonton shorthanded. Curtis Lestard has Samuelson with them, and a good defensive play. Samuelson tries to center it. The pass almost got through, but good defensive play by Portland to make sure it didn't. And here's Lear going in over the line. He's off stride. Samuelson going over to the far boards, and down the ice it goes. So in the power play, we have 28 seconds left for Portland. 1-0 early goal by Dylan Ruck at 2:03 of this first period. Brossois clearing the puck right to Wotherspoon. That goes off a stick, stays into the playing surface. Battle over that corner. Bjorkstrand gets it back out to Seth Jones. Seth Jones to Delio, back to Jones. His shot just off the target, and the rebound. Lear is stopped by Brossois. Nowhere for Lear to put it. Here's Bjorkstrand. Comes back out to the blue line area. Wotherspoon to Seth Jones. Jones gets it back again, and his shot is knocked down. Not quite to the net, but still good possession here by Portland. Delio fights off one check. Seth Jones gets it at the point. Jones to Wotherspoon. Jones again. Delio throws it through the goal mouth area. Wotherspoon tries to dump it behind the net. Lear's got it. Penalty's over, but it doesn't feel like it yet because this pressure continues for Portland, and they hammer away at the puck. And there's the whistle as Brossois holds it out.
Maybe the most dangerous part of this whole sequence, again, is that last one when Delio kind of tries a wraparound, jam it past Brossois. Brossois solid. That's a pretty good penalty kill, even though the shots at this point are 8-1 right now for the Winterhawks. But you're going to watch Delio. He's number 9. The play is in. The play is over, but there's absolutely no way, even though he gets a bit of inside position. 1, 2, 3, 4 Edmonton All Kings there, but it was Brossois making that save, standing his ground. That point there, that there was absolutely no puck to be found in the paint.
As you mentioned, the shots are 8-1, and the one shot has gone in for Edmonton. They lead it 1-0 and look at Dyson Mayo. He's experiencing his first WHL final. That play goes offside. Number 37 is just 16 years old at the back end of the Oil Kings.
Yeah, you know, Travis Green, the Portland coaching staff honestly feels this year's team has the offense and the defense totally in sync. Other years it hasn't been exactly that way as much. They feel, Travis Green and his team feels they can win a 2-1 game as well as a 6-5 game. And boy, I'll tell you, there aren't many people that wouldn't believe that either, because they've been that dominant in the season this year.
Travis Green coming in behind the bench as the bench boss in late November when the sanctions were levied against the Portland Winterhawks, which included the coach and general manager Mike Johnson being suspended for the rest of the year. 1-0 Edmonton as it's brought in over the blue line by Leipzig. Behind the net, Ratty throws it in front, goes back out to Pouliot, but it bounces over top his stick. Derek Pouliot back to get it. He had 5 assists in last year's championship final. There's Troy Rutkowski with it. He had 4 assists in those 7 games against the Oil Kings from the back end. Calder tries to get the puck for Edmonton. There's Patan with it now. They go cross ice. Rutkowski flips it out to center, hops over the stick of Gernat. And there's Sontner with it for Edmonton. Over to Gernat. Plus 19 in these playoffs is Gernat. Rutkowski shot, stopped, and Brossoit has a little trouble with the rebound. Swept around the boards. There's Samuelson with it. Samuelson gaining some speed as he hits the Portland line. Gernat jumping into the rush for Portland. Puts the puck behind the net. Legault and Samuelson comes back out to the blue line area. Here's Curtis Lazar now behind the net. Rare pressure in the early going here by Edmonton, and there's a Lazar broken stick.
Pressure on that stick, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Gernat. Out it goes to Samuelson. Flipped by Portland. Back into the Edmonton zone. 7 minutes nearly played here in the opening period. Brought in by Benson. Benson's brother, the first overall pick yesterday.
You know, if you're Martin Gernat, you handle that puck so well, and you're so comfortable handling that puck. But this is exactly what you can't do with it. It's a tweener play. He's got the puck here, and he's not going to go hard enough with it, high enough. And so what he does is he just puts that puck right on the glove, if you will, of the Winterhawk defense, and they say thank you very much. Gernat has to make a snappier pass, a higher pass, even if you get called for icing. But he can't put it at that height.
As Benson goes in, I'll put a shout out to Tyler. I had him on my radio show last night. He said he'll be watching this series intently. He got a lot of calls yesterday, first overall pick, including a call from Michael Bublé. Wow, that was pretty amazing. Never talked to anybody that famous before. Congratulations to the Benson family.
Worst kept secret in all of Western Canada that Tyler Benson would go first overall.
And there's brother Benson trying to get it right to the front of the net. He couldn't. The lead offside. Cole Benson has 1 goal in these playoffs for Edmonton. He's 17 years old. Puck over on the far side. Lucille has it. And there's Benson with it now. Oh, he's hit hard. He stood up. And the fans respond to the heavy hit by Portland's Keegan Iverson as he caught Benson with his head down. But Benson pops back up again. And he goes to the Edmonton bench. Keegan Lowe back to get. Oh, what a buzz in this building when that hit was registered. Not that any hockey market does not enjoy physical play, but the Portland market, they love the physical play. Puck shot into the Edmonton zone. Brossoit leaves it at the side of the net for Musil. Musil knocks it, or he tried to, off the boards. Now he just forces it out to the center ice area. And now Pouliot gets it back, and it's controlled by Hansen. Shot in by Portland. Musil has trouble with it in his skates. Checked off the puck. Delio puts it behind the net. Bjorkstrand tries to work it in front. Lear, the third member of the line, comes up with the puck. Here's Bjorkstrand on a backhand wraparound out on the forehand. That hits the side of the net. Bjorkstrand stays with it. Musil still trying to work him over. Good play by Bjorkstrand to get out to the point. Here's Hansen shooting it, and he just missed the net. And he actually just missed hitting one of his teammates for a deflection at the same time as Pouliot gets it over here to Hansen. Josh Hansen is from Eagle River in Alaska as he shoots that puck in, heads to the bench on a line change. The shots are 9-2 in favor of the home team. Ratty coming in. Ratty trying to go around Rupp. shot. Oh, good glove save by Brossois, who was leading one way, and he stuck out the glove the other way.
You know, the only player ever to wear number 13 in the Portland Winterhawk uniform, Keegan Iverson, with a big hit on Benson. Now, Cole Benson's not obviously as big as his brother, but watch the collision. Boom, right there. Benson goes 5'8". His older brother that got drafted first overall is pretty close to 6 feet, but you know, he was a little bit slow to get up, but Keegan Iverson with a big hit right at the blue line. Fans respond as is shown on a wonderful replay screen here at the Rose Garden.
Just like the one I have in my family room.
Yeah, I was going to say, my
I
goodness.
know. I just believe they duplicated that one. Here's Lazar as he tries to push it forward. He can't, and Portland comes back with some numbers. Seth Jones leading the way as he brings it in over the blue line. Kopech puts it behind the net. Lazar got it, played it around the board. Samuelson waits for it. Samuelson lined up as he dishes away the puck. Peters caught him. Portland finishing their checks here in the first, and Lazar finishes one of his own as he just hit DeChamplain. Meantime, in over the line, Wotherspoon shot. Tips off the stick wide of the net. Winterhawks swarming after the puck, and here's a chance in the slot. A shot by Patan is knocked down by Lazar. Sontner now has it. Sontner out of Legault. Sontner picking up a lot of those minutes that Griffin Reinhart used to log before he got hurt in Game 3 of the Calgary series. Lazar sends it in over top the net. Now from behind the net, TJ Foster Michael St. Croix trying to work it in front. Foster's on this line too, as is Calda. Calda, number 23, can't reach it, but here's Sontner shooting it, and Matt Caruth gloves it, holds on. They're not booing, they're Caruthing. First period, 1-0 Edmonton from Portland on Shaw.
With Winterhawks coach Travis Green, and Travis, a goal against the run of play, but have you been happy with your team's start on home ice and energy?
Yeah, it's been a real good start. Our first 10 minutes have been real strong. I like our energy. I like our pace.
Did you want some more net front presence on the power play?
I thought we had good net front presence. They got a good penalty killing squad. We came close, but I'm sure we'll get one way or the other.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Dan?
Well, we saw it a lot in the Calgary series with TJ Foster blocking shots, but how about Curtis Lazar? He again sells out as he does so well. He pays that price. This puck is going to end up on the point man, and you see the line to the net. Well, I'll tell you, that was perfect. That puck was never going to get through it. Look at Lazar, still battle right to the wall.
Offensive zone faceoff for Edmonton, but Portland wins the draw and it knocked off the boards, and quickly they're out of their own zone. Lear rolls it in. He and Sontner will battle in the corner for it. Sontner lines up Lear, and that allows Calda to get the puck. Derek Blackstow told me today that Calda is the most improved player they've had on the team since Christmas. Calda from behind the net now finds himself on the first line on this team with that injury to cheek. And he's making the most of his opportunity. And he's down low, trying to get the puck in front of the net. Calder's shot is stopped by Caruth. Calder just hung around, and he was sneaky because Portland didn't see him, but Caruth did, and he made the save.
Again, I think this exemplifies how the Winterhawks want to go on the attack. They want to get out of their zone in a hurry, and there's a little bit of a lucky bounce that bounces off Pouliot's skate right on a Calda, and Calda with his backhand comes this close, kind of lost it a little bit, double clutch, and that allowed Matt Caruth to get in a little better position to make that save.
Best scoring chance since the goal for Edmonton. That's the only goal so far with 9:20 to go in the period. Mraz throws a hit. Mraz celebrating his birthday today for Edmonton. Brought in there by Iverson. Iverson and Bittner throwing checks there. Bittner, a late insertion into the lineup. He was a question mark prior to the game. There's Jones with it. Jones gets it behind the net. Peters waiting for it to come on this side. Peters grinding along these boards. Keeping it in is Jones. He goes back into his own zone.
Good job by the Edmonton Oil Kings there on that sequence. Dan, sometimes, you know, as I said before, the longer the puck is in your zone, the more stressed your defensive structure can get.
Here's Stefan Legault taking the pass from Samuelson. Legault ready to goal, and it's Caruth making a good save. He hung in there well, Caruth did. Here's Lazar trying to come off the boards. He protected the puck nicely, but unable to hold it in is Cody Corbett. Corbett backhands it to Legault. Legault brings it in over the line. Ridden off the puck nicely by Jones. And now here comes Portland with numbers. 3-on-1. Patan with Ratty. Patan to Ratty to Patan in front of the net. They score! Wow! Wow!
we showed you at the top in our open that this line not only scores, but they've got chemistry. Now, I'm going to show you chemistry, folks. It isn't always just verbal chemistry. It's chemistry on the ice with the puck. Enjoy this as a Winterhawks. Big line comes up the ice. Count the passes. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in the net. They just know that when they get that 3-1-1 situation, they're going to make it work. They're going to make it go. And Leipzig finishes that play off. That is a thing of pretty.
8th goal of these playoffs. Can't look at it enough unless you're Laurent Brossoit and you got a little bit dizzy there. Not sure the delay after the... Are they reviewing that maybe Leipzig kicked it in by chance, or at least going to look at it? That's what we're being told, that the overhead shot might show it. We get a look at that, but that's so pretty. It's almost too bad there's a video review. But let's see if it's an illegal, a goal that's legal or not. Whoa!
Wow, it's off the skate. You know what? This one, you know, you see the referee in the corner calling it. It's got to be overruled.
I've already written it down in the book.
Yeah, I've half written it down, but as you know, you look at it again. I mean, was there motion on Brendan Leipzig on his skate? You know, is there motion kicking it towards the net?
And again, it's got to be that word, distinct kicking motion. And as you said, the referee called goal on the ice. So upstairs, they will have to overrule the referee.
You see, it hits the outside blade of Leipzig's skate. And it's a little harder to direct that puck towards the net that way, I think, than if it hits the inside part of the blade. Have a good look here as it hits the outside of his skate right there. Well, yeah. Now, it looks, if that puck hits the inside skate, his left skate, furthest away from the goal, it's definitely not going to be allowed.
Well, they're having a long look at it. This is not a short replay. We've got Brett Iverson on the phone with the video goal judge. And they want to really make sure here. You can have it this day. I hear what you're saying. Let's see what they say.
It's a big call early.
No goal. No goal. Wow. Well, from our angle, initially it looked great, but then you see it on the replay.
Watch the left foot. Right there. You see, if it hits the right foot, Dan, the right skate, I don't think he moves it at all. It bounces off the skate. It would be legal. But it goes off that inside skate, and he gives it that little bit of help. The crowd seated on the big replay screen here again. And that thing's 80 miles big, I'll tell you. You know, from the crowd standpoint, as they look up on the screen, I'm not sure they can see clearly what blade, what skate that does hit. But I think that is the right call. Travis Green might not think so.
Well, 2 early breaks for Edmonton. They get 1 goal against the run of play in the first couple minutes, as the play had been in their zone the entire beginning of the hockey game. And then they get that. And then take that, Keegan Lowe, as Portland's Lear goes in for a check. Meantime, Foster. Followed up by Michael St. Croix in front of the net. Shot! Oh, and a good save there by Caruth. Off Caldas, he went up high. Foster can't keep the puck in, forced out to the neutral zone. 7:40 to go in the first period of game number 1. Here's Michael St. Croix in over the blue line. St. Croix back to Foster. He tried to feed Calder, but good defensive play there by Troy Rutkowski. Lead pass now for Lear. Lear in over the line. A hard pass over for Pouliot, who's jumped into the rush, takes a shot, and then swinging at it and knocking it down into the neutral zone in midair was TJ Foster. In over the blue line now for Portland. It is Delio. Chase Delio, number 9, gets the puck over to Leipzig. His pass out to Jones, held in. Only for a moment. Dylan Ruck gets it to Saunders. Back to Ruck. He's got the game's only goal. Dylan Ruck in over the blue line. And Seth Jones just finishes him off. Wow. Seth Jones, that time showing that part of the package. And now he jumps into the rush. He throws it in front, and Leipzig just puts it wide of the net. And who's back for it in the neutral zone? You guessed it. Number 3, having his best shift of this first period, is Seth Jones. Wotherspoon brings it in, but that one is offside.
You know, The thing about Seth Jones, there's some people that say they'd like to see a little bit meaner, but you don't have to be very much meaner if you deliver the play on Dylan Ruck to that extent. And then another hit there in the same sequence. He did a wonderful job of coming up the ice, which he does so well. We showed you it's right off the top. His number 3 joins the rush. And again, he's the guy that made the hit. And if you want more of Seth Jones, he was the first guy back, as you called it, Dan, in between the blue lines making his check. You know what, I've said this before. If you just came in the building now with 6 minutes left first period, you want to see Seth Jones, you can go to the car, warm it up, there you go.
There's a lot of scouts here who have not got to their car. They want to see more, but he is being well scouted here.
But you know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
He's just, I mean, you can wait all season to see that in some players.
Including the chief scout of the Colorado Avalanche in the building tonight. Avalanche winning the draft lottery last week. The draft is June 30th in New Jersey. Not much doubt right now who's going to go first overall. Meantime, into the Edmonton zone. Mayo has his hands full, and then Mayo's hit. And they continue to work him over, but he's hanging in there pretty tight as Samuelson gets the puck, and he plays it over to Cody Corbett. Corbett makes a move, plays it off the boards, pass nearly picked off. Check that, it is picked off, and there's a chance now as Pouliot makes one move. Derek Pouliot puts it at the net, and it just goes wide. I don't know if they hit Bittner in front or not. Here's Pouliot once more. Pouliot winds up. Rutkowski now takes the pass. Pouliot, hard pass down low. That shot taken by Petan hits Lazar. There's a centering pass for Petan. He holds. He shoots it wide of the net. Glorious chance for Nick Petan. And I don't know if he was shooting it for sure or trying to pass it to Bittner. Either way, good chance nullified by Portland. Iverson shoots the puck in. Brossoit's got it. Boy, the puck's been down here a lot. Shots are 13-5 in favor of Portland.
Dan, they're bending, there's no question, and I don't think anybody expected any different from this Oil King team. They were going to be under pressure this first period. Personally, I think they're surviving it well.
Here's Taylor Lear in over the goal line. Lear gets the puck to Chase Delio as he throws it through the goal mouth area. Oliver Bjorkstrand on the far side, number 27. Terrific player, a young player for Portland, gets it to Brossoit, who covers it up.
Nick Petan's so good, you got to watch around the net. I mean, Petan, Ratty, and Leipzig so good off the rush. But boy, I'll tell you what, you lose position on these guys in the offensive zone. There they are. They move that puck. Now at that spot with that back pass, if you lose track of Petan, he's going to make you pay. But what happened there was the Oil Kings did a pretty good job of recovering. They forced Petan to take a shot. He wasn't completed. It wasn't his first option. Let me put it to you that way.
Edmonton wins the faceoff in their own zone, and they get the puck out to center ice. You have to go all the way back to the mid-70s. The last time this league had the same 2 finalists 2 years in a row. That was New Westminster Bruins and the Saskatoon Blades. There's a chance at the side of the net for Portland. That shot going off the target. Those series both went 7, but in the first year they had a tie game in one of those had tie games in the playoffs. Okay, we'll do it again.
I was talking to John Kirby of the Portland radio broadcast, and we talked about it. He remembers it being 9 points. You know, if you won 4, that's 8. You had to get 1 more point or more to win it. But the 9-point thing wasn't there very long.
And we have best of 9s on the stage as well. You had to win 5 to win a playoff series. Or as Ken Hitchcock used to call them, best of forever. Leipzig takes a shot, directed onto the goal, and Brossoit holds tight there. Making the save, Curtis Lazar tries to stick handle out of his own zone. That's not a good idea. Petan gets it. Petan to Ratty, spin around in front for... Well, they're going to make us dizzy by the end of the series the way they're going. This line, look at them go. Petan getting the puck. Behind the net for Leipzig. Leipzig, he spins off a check. Granat trying to stay with him. He's tripped. There'll be a penalty in the offensive zone. Granat was tripped back of the net. Leipzig doesn't like the call, but he's getting the game.
You know, we talked about it also on our open. This line, the big line, if you will, of the Winterhawks, they're so good because they spend extended times in the offensive zone. This is good. They can wear you down. But in that sequence, like with that we just saw, this is just nonsense on Leipzig's play to take this penalty. He doesn't have to reach out and trip his man like he does right behind the net. Edmonton has to say, you know what? That's maybe the easiest way to relieve the pressure of that line in your own zone. Have them take a penalty.
The Edmonton Oil Kings in the Calgary series finished with 20 straight power plays where they were unable to score. They went 0 for their last 20 against the Hitmen. There's Mirage from back in the net. In the playoffs, they operate at a 22% efficiency. St. Croix's got it. St. Croix gets it down low. There's Dylan Ruck. Ruck off this half wall. Dylan Ruck puts the puck behind the net for St. Croix. Back for Ruck. Ruck goes to the front of the net, and a save by Caruth as he darted out from the side of the goal, and Caruth was right there to meet him. Lear short-handed. Looks like he's going to go for a skate. Lots of confidence on this Portland team. A lot of players would just shoot that one in. Lear says, no, I'll peel back and we'll a few more seconds.
You know what's neat about that? They got some new fresh penalty killers on the ice while he was doing it.
Minute 10 left in the power play. 2.5 minutes to go in the first period of game number 1 as Foster brings it in over the line. There's Dylan Ruck with it. Ruck. Patan watching him. So is Wotherspoon. Back to Corbett. It's picked up, and here's a short-handed chance for Patan. Patan with Ratty, walking into Ratty, and Brossoit makes the save off Ty Ratty. Short-handed opportunity for Portland.
Well, this has to be nothing more than energy lifting, even though it's a mess up by the Edmonton Oil Kings. Corbett is going to hand this puck over right there. But you know what? They get the big save here. And as Corbett almost winning that race there, and I'm not so sure that Corbett just changed the play a little bit when he gets back number 2 and makes that little play there. And you know what Laurent Brossoit does? He recognizes that that puck's going cross crease under a little bit of stress, and he was right there to make the save.
He's made 16 of them already in the first period. You know the Edmonton Oil Kings have played 16 games. They've not been outshot in these playoffs. They're already being outshot 16-6 by Portland. Somewhere along the way, that streak's coming to an end in this series. That streak about shooting every team you play. Minute and a half to go in the period. 9 seconds of the power play for the Edmonton Oil Kings. They don't get the pass through. And back short-handed. Here they come again. And there goes Ratty this time. Ratty right in on goal. And this time Brossoit goes the other way to make the save. 2 glorious short-handed opportunities by the big names on the Portland Winterhawks. Penalty over. Leipzig back on the ice. And he hustles to get the puck for the Winterhawks. You can't do much better than Portland in this first period and still be trailing. But they are. They've had some good chances. Brossoit's been incredible in the Edmonton goal. And there's a turnover by Sautner. Delio can't get it down low. TJ Foster back up for Calda. Here's Foster back in over the blue line. Over on the far side is St. Croix. St. Croix hit there, but he threw it in front. Calda tries to get it. He can't. Half a minute to go in the period. Leipzig can't reach it. Edmonton in possession. And there's Calda once more. He dishes it back to Musil. St. Croix redirects it into the Portland zone and heads to the bench on a line change. Pouliot shovels it around the far wall. Trying to gobble it up there was Kopech. He checked off it. As it comes out to center, Gernat has it. Tipped inside the Portland zone by Samuelson. He's lining up Pouliot. Will he throw a check? Pouliot switches nicely, although he lost the puck. Period will come to an end. What a period, Bill. Wow. He picked up right where they left off last year.
Yeah, you know, Dan, you can make a case for what happened here in the first period. Superseded a lot of what happened in the Eastern Conference Final in terms of intensity, in terms of speed, not taking anything away from the teams. But boy, there was a lot of energy, a lot of pizzazz on the ice after 20 minutes. It was fun, it's great.
1 goal for Edmonton on 6 shots, a disallowed goal, but no goals on 16 shots for Portland. Let's go to Andy Neal.
All right, thanks very much, Dan and Bill. When we come back, we will hear from Seth Jones of the Portland Winterhawks, who will talk with Stu Walders. One-on-one with Matt Bardsley, the Director of Hockey Operations for the Portland Winterhawks, and inside the WHL with Peter Labardius. That, along with highlights and analysis of the first period of play that saw the Edmonton Oil Kings get the lone goal in a 1-0 lead on the WHL On Show.